Well, the Dodgers show up and show out for the first two games in the World Series rematch against the Yankees. In fact, they did so well after those first two games, they decided, hey, let's take Sunday off, shall we? He's Beau Benson. My name's Ryan Bershinger. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone. Let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. The Dodger Zone.
Cortez delivers. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby, meet Freddie. Game 1 of the World Series.
The sickest LA Dodgers podcast.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
It's gonna be sick.
Oh, it is so funny listening to that highlight, especially in this episode, Beau, because, of course, Nestor Cortez was the one on the mound pitching to Freddie Freeman. And then in this series, we finally saw the Yankees decide, you know what? Let's give Tim Hill a shot.
Yeah.
Against Freddie Freeman, the funky left-hander who is designed to get one left-handed bat out in a game. Hey, here's an idea. Let's try him this time around, because of course Nestor's not on the roster anymore. We can't resort to Nestor possibly at this point.
I wish he was.
I know, please.
Put him in.
It would have been
You think
35-0 on Saturday.
Boone would have still put him in to prove his point.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Nestor would have started Saturday, gave up 18 runs in 4 innings, and then he still would have pitched him on Sunday just to pitch to Freddie, and then Freddie would hit a grand slam, and that would have been great. That would have been fun. But no, that's not what happened. But hey, what did happen is the Dodgers took 2 of 3 from the Yankees in LA. This was, of course, a very highly anticipated and highly broadcasted match, because of the fact that, yes, it's a World Series rematch. The Yankees-Dodgers, a huge thing. I saw somebody tweet on Friday, like, this is the first Friday where there's just nothing to watch in sports tonight. And it's like, Jesus, dude, really? Like, yeah, sorry, you can't watch the Pacers play basketball again. Sorry. Yes, you would just have to resort to, I guess, the Yankees and Dodgers playing each other, in which that first inning, both Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge homered. Like, it's incredible.
Do you think Major League executives got like dollar signs in their eyes the minute that happened? Like, they turned into a cartoon wolf and had to hit themselves in the head with a mallet multiple times.
Good. And like, credit to baseball, they did something they should do more of, where they live streamed the first inning on MLB's Twitter account. They should be doing that constantly with different games around the league.
Everybody, yeah.
That is a great way to expand your reach. People can so easily just tap into a random game at any point during the week. And it's great for baseball that they were able to do that with such a high profile game, of course, being on Apple TV that night. So not as many people were able to watch it. They gave them that first inning, and you get to watch both Judge and Ohtani homer in that inning. It was beautiful. It's almost as if the fix was in, but it couldn't have been. It was so good. Just really an awesome way to start that series, and of course, just a great series for the Dodgers overall.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't count, but I have to assume that mentions of Freeman's grand slam had to be over like 3.5 throughout the weekend. So I would hate to be a Yankees fan watching any of those games.
Yeah,
the most miserable experience imaginable watching those first 2 games, and even the third one. Like, they won, but it wasn't like it was like really comfortable. Like, I think when you're playing the Dodgers at this point, you're just always waiting for that inning, especially if you're the Yankees. Which, like, that's my big takeaway from the weekend, is that they were so mad about everything the Dodgers were saying about them in the offseason, and you had Chris Taylor, like, the day before the series being like, I'm not going to apologize for saying they had shit running down their leg, like they did. And like, so they were so mad about that, and that was a big storyline. And then what happened in that first game? The Yankees had a 5-run lead, 6-run lead, whatever it was, and the Dodgers took advantage of Yankees miscues to tie it. So top of the 5th and bottom of the 6th, they're cursed innings for the Yankees against the Dodgers at this point.
That's so funny. It's so good. That Sunday game is interesting because I made the joke off the top. They kind of took Sunday off, but they did because of how much went into obviously the hype of that first game. Of course, they're facing Max Fried, who has been fantastic to start the season. And the Dodgers handed him his first loss as a Yankee, which is awesome. And then Saturday, they explode offensively. And then you get to Sunday, and they've already taken the first two in this 3-game set. So the pressure is very much off at that point.
I would have just pushed Yamamoto's start, honestly. I would just push Yamamoto start, put a bunch of bench players out there. I fuck ESPN. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about their ratings. Like, what's the point?
And as you were saying about, Yankee fans not enjoying any of that, listen, I all the credit in the world to Ryan Yarbrough. He has become a solid starting pitcher because there always has to be one soft tossing lefty that is surprisingly decent starting in the majors. Jamie Moyer walked so Rich Hill could run. So now Ryan Yarbrough can begin to sprint all over the place. These guys are I believe Yarbrough topped at 89, and I don't know if that's an exaggeration. I thought I saw that. But Dodger great. I guess we should have been using him as a starter the entire time because he's actually rather effective in that role. But to that point, though, in terms of Yankee fans not enjoying watching that series, watching Ryan Yarbrough pitch isn't exactly an exciting experience. So, but they still got to see the Yankees win that game. But let's focus in on these two wins. Of course, first off, as you mentioned, the comeback win on Friday, which last year we talked about. I believe it was Yamamoto's start, one of the games in New York during the regular season. And we came out of the series and you said, like, these are the best wins the Dodgers have had all year and maybe are the best wins they're going to have all season. That's how I felt coming out of this series as well, especially that Friday win. For them to beat Max Fried, who had been pitching as well as he had been coming into that game, and still pitched fine in that game, but they were able to get to him. For them to come back in the manner that they did, that's an incredible team win, and that's definitely the best win they've had thus far this season in terms of just what it meant, their opponent, and everything going into it. Obviously, we've had a couple walk-offs here and there, Ohtani's bobblehead night. These are all great games, but I think this one especially, given everything going into that game, I think it's the best win they've had thus far this season.
I mean, like, they mentioned it during the broadcast, but outside of that 8-0 start to the year, they're basically a 500 team since then, which is enough to obviously be in first place and still be in striking distance of being in first place if you lose. But I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but like these games against the Mets here, where they're currently losing 2-0 and look like they've never seen someone named Pete Blackburn pitch before, like Paul Blackburn. Yeah, see, there you go. I don't think they care outside of the bigger games on their schedule. Like I just really don't think they care. Wouldn't shock me at all if they look like ass till Monday when they play the Padres for the first time. Like, how funny is it? Looking at the schedule ahead, they play the Padres 3 times, the Giants 3 times, the Padres 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, they're backloading all of the games against the actual divisional opponents. So yeah, like, I mean, again, like I know I've said it every single time, but like the Dodgers very clearly do not really care about the results that they get right now outside of these big games. So I do think that they had that Yankees series scheduled on their circled on their calendar, waiting for that to show up. So,
I think
don't be upset.
I think in both of these wins, it was the most reminiscent of the way that they won in the playoffs that I've seen thus far. Yes, they were very dominant to start the first week of the season, of course, and the manner in which they were winning those games, where the offense is exploding, the pitching, to everything was just rolling in all cylinders. You're like, this is exciting. It's so much fun to watch this team. But of course, being so early in the season, that didn't feel like a very a real representation of the level of competition they're going to face, and just with everything going on, these games felt more reminiscent of what playoffs are actually like. And the Dodgers performed in a way where it felt like they were never out of it. As you said, even in the game that they lost, it felt like they were never out of it. They were stepping up situationally. Guys were performing defensively. Everything was rolling fine, and they got strong work from their pitching staff. Landon Knack pitched really well in his game on Saturday, and he was afforded with an incredibly nice lead right off the bat. But he, as we talked about before, Landon Knack's role in this organization is to just eat innings when he's called upon, and he did that very well in that game. So this was kind of watching them win these games. It's, of course, the Dodgers should be considered World Series favorites and all that. But watching them win these games was just a great reminder of just how well they can play when they rise to the occasion, and when they're facing teams that are also playing at a high level, and just how much they can shut down the Yankees. Because I mean, it really does feel like this is just the first. We're still like in the back half of the first saga of this, hopefully what is to be a rivalry over a decade with the Yankees, where I feel like these two teams are going to meet in the World Series again sometime in Ohtani's reign here in LA. If not one more time, maybe two more times. Like, this feels like a sort of thing we're going to see constantly for the next decade. And the way the Dodgers are really stepping on the Yankees' throats to like start this whole story between the two of them, it's fascinating to watch, and it makes it feel like it's never going to change. That the Dodgers are truly the big brother in this budding rivalry of sorts.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. I mean, it's as close, I think, to a perfect series as you can get. And then you also, again, like you said, like you had two of those games started by Landon Knack and Tony Gonsolin. Both the wins, funny enough. Hopefully Blake Snell comes back one day. Maybe Tyler Glasnow will consider getting over it and pitching again.
Take a Tylenol or something. Like,
yeah,
geez.
you know. What is it? Body soreness or something like that?
Yeah, body soreness.
Okay.
Aleve does wonders for my back.
Yeah,
so it just takes some Aleve, Tyler.
You are a professional athlete, dude. This is the one time. This is really the one time where I'll be like, rub some fucking dirt on it, dude. Like, I swear. Body soreness? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's hard. Well, we almost had this situation over the weekend with Mookie, where the initial reports were he was out because of a stubbed toe.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn it. Like, this is the joke everyone makes. All the old guys are like, baseball players can't play anymore because they stubbed their toe and they're on the 10-day injured list. And I'm like, shit. He's literally out because of a stubbed toe. But then I was, in a weird way, relieved to find out that the toe was in fact broken and he wasn't out because of the stubbed toe.
I assumed that. You always just have to assume every time the Dodgers say it's something, like you just double what it would actually be. So
sure.
Maybe Glasnow experiencing body soreness is actually just like he's dead. Like he's been shot.
He has some sort of
his body is sore in the area where
disease.
The bullet went in and went out. Like the Mookie thing is funny. Like I like that was framed as like what are the Dodgers going to do this weekend without Mookie? And it's like something else. Like although that I will say that did lead to the most frustrating experience of the weekend.
Yes.
Which was Miguel Rojas trying to play hero.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here, dude. Like that's like DFA worthy to me alone. You should not be up there swinging the bat at all. You should be you should pretend that you're a pitcher back in 2012 when you had to hit in the National League.
Yeah.
Just stare at three balls and whatever happens, happens. But the most selfish guy, I think, on the team.
What's so frustrating about this is that they've had this conversation with him already.
100%, yeah.
Because of the triple play last year. That's exactly how the triple play happened. Was Rojas should not have been trying to do anything with Ohtani behind him and the bases loaded, and he drilled the ball into a triple play. So for that to happen again, it's a weird one because like I said, it's had to be a conversation they've already had. There has to be some sort of awareness there. You've got Ohtani behind you. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah. Just
don't do anything, quite frankly.
That would be my dream, dude. Just you just want me to go up there and put the bat on my shoulder? Sure,
Yeah.
no problem. Whatever.
Great.
Golly. So yeah, like they're treading water, which is fine.
Yeah.
So like I'm not. They're gonna lose tonight to the Mets probably.
Mm.
They might lose 2 or 3 of these games to the Mets. I don't know how many they play. I think they play 3 or 4. I don't know. They might lose. Yeah, they might get split. I don't care. I really just don't care. Like they'll be fine. They're gonna win 95 games by default, and it's not exciting. Like it doesn't make for good content for a show, but like that's just how it is. I mean, it is. I think they're bringing that attitude from basketball, I think, into baseball a little bit, where it's like, outside of July and August, like just get to 60 wins, see what you can do, and then July and August you turn it on and try to win 30 games in that 2-month span.
Yeah.
And then see what happens from there. But yeah.
The unfortunate thing with that metaphor, which I think is perfectly accurate, and I think a lot of teams are doing that. We do see, however, like in this season in the NBA, you have 2 teams that didn't really take a step back at any point.
No.
You know what I mean? So you have the Thunder, who ran the West the entire season.
Well, yeah, the Pacers were kind of mid, and then they got really good after the All-Star break. But
that wasn't a product of them like not trying as hard.
No,
like, they just weren't that good of a team, and they've caught fire. I've been trying to formulate this sort of like parallel to like show how baseball has passed up basketball, because by comparing where they're at in terms of titles, and Muncy will be here next time. Muncy would probably hate this conversation from me, so I'm just going to do it now. So you look at where the NBA is at this season and the 2 teams that got to the finals. You have 2 teams from small to mid-major markets, where one team was a team that was ran by a star and has just been solid overall throughout the season, but they were also a team that had to tank for years in order to become this franchise, which is in essence what the Houston Astros were, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the Pacers, who are a solid team. They've got a guy who's potentially a star, but they really just got hot at the right time. And they got themselves to the finals because they got hot at the right time. And this is the sort of series that we would see all the time in baseball.
In baseball, like, 100%. The Nationals in 2019, the Braves in 21,
the
very
Diamondbacks
rarely
in 23.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I think if you go through the list of like World Series champions in recent memory, like the Red Sox the Dodgers in last year in 20, the Red Sox in 18, and then probably the Astros. In 17, were the best teams in baseball, undoubtedly. And every other time, it's always some random like team that just makes a move at the deadline, catches fire, and then you like the Nationals were the worst team in baseball, I think, before the All-Star break.
Yeah,
and then they turned around and won the World Series. So yeah, like that's a great analogy. All we need is to find like the Clippers, who traded everything they could possibly trade to the team that made the World Series, for absolutely nothing.
That's a good point. That's I mean,
since Muncy's not here,
because the Nationals are going to eventually win a title with the core that they got for Juan Soto. So James Wood is legit.
Who's Kawhi Leonard in this scenario, where you have 3 choices in front of you, and 2 of them will like lock your case for the Hall of Fame, and you take the one choice that guarantees you're probably a fringe Hall of Famer in everybody's eyes. And you did that one. You took that one.
Geez, I was gonna say Soto, but like, there's such a Mets,
like well, the Mets are the Clippers, kind of.
Yeah.
And then you could say like, oh, he could have stayed with the Yankees or the Dodgers. Like, So Juan Soto's the Kawhi Leonard here.
Yeah,
there you go.
And then
he won a ring already.
Yeah,
he won a ring already with the Nat. Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. And here in baseball, you now have powerhouses getting to the championship games. You have of course, now the Dodgers and the Yankees loading up and actually, being just loaded with superstars, getting to the World Series, which is, I mean, of course, Golden State and Cleveland aren't exactly like gigantic markets like LA and New York are, but like they're teams that were loaded and then were,
Here's the
actually
thing.
there for a long time.
Do you think the All-Star break is July 13th is the last game before the second half? So there's 5 days off. Do you think the Colorado Rockies can go on a run and make the playoffs in the second half of the season?
I saw yesterday that if they go a game above 500 the rest of the season, they still have 100 losses.
Yeah.
Like,
bad. They got their 10th win today.
Yes, they did, which I'm pissed about because in the MLB Survivor pool that I'm in with Dan Byer and Jason Stewart, and like 600 other people, I have no strikes against me. And this week is one of the double weeks, so you have to pick 2 teams. So one of the teams I have this week is the Marlins. And they start the week by losing to the Rockies. I am so mad about it. I was actually watching that game tonight. I was spending time being invested in a Marlins-Rockies game because of the Survivor pool, which, one, that's fun. It's a fun thing, but also it is hilarious to be upset about the Rockies beating the Marlins. But yes, we are recording this on Monday night. I'm going to the game tomorrow night. That's why we're not doing one Tuesday night. There's a lot of other moving parts. It is this will be the 3rd straight year I will be a Filipino Heritage Night, so I will get a new Filipino Heritage jersey, which they've all been great.
You don't look Filipino.
Well, I'm about to become one. I'm just a few weeks away from becoming one. And I'm really stoked because Kershaw is starting tomorrow. So
there you
go. I get to watch Clayton Kershaw in person in his final year of his career. Let's
How
see.
dare you?
Let's Kershaw update. Where's he at on strikeouts? Because
he needs like 27 more or something like that.
Yeah. So let's do it, Clayton. I'm in attendance tomorrow. So let's strike out every batter. Okay, every single one of the game. Go 27 up, 27 down to finish the game with 3,000 strikeouts. He needs 30. Okay,
yeah.
So we need Will Smith to drop a few. We need this thing to go to extras. Let's make the impossible happen. All right, let's capture the dream. If Clayton Kershaw struck out 30 in a game and I was in attendance,
the greatest pitcher of all time,
3,000. Yes,
he already is.
He drops the glove at the end of the game. Is like, that's it. I'm retiring right now.
Immediately becomes coach.
Greatest day of my life. That would be incredible. Why would you bother following sports at all at that point? Because nothing is ever going to top that.
I mean, when Kershaw retires, I might just hang him up too.
Yeah,
it's been 20 years for me at that point too. So
this podcast will be done.
Yeah.
once Kershaw retires, that's it. Hey, we had a good run.
Dude, we got to get Michael Conforto the fuck out of here.
let's speaking of milestones though, this is important, and we'll wrap up with this because in the midst of this Dodgers rout of the Yankees, in which they won, what was the score, 42-3?
Yeah, something like that.
So
they did it for Jackie Robinson.
Yes, perfect. Max Muncy hit his 200th and 201st career home run. And quite frankly, since he put on the glasses, we're getting a bit of a reverse Superman here.
Someone posted the splits. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was a good friend, Blake Williams, but he's been like an entirely different hitter after the glasses. Like not entirely different, but he's been Max Muncy.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, whoever Kike's eye doctor is, thank you.
Yeah.
Your services are. Can you just do the entire team?
It's just the.
What if they were like, Ohtani needs glasses actually.
And then he's just he's hitting him like 550.
You know what? we poke fun at Aaron Judge. I poke fun at Aaron Judge, but I did not realize he's hitting like 400.
Oh yeah, his
That's
numbers
wild.
are
That's
genuinely insane. And that's probably because in one way or another, every game the Yankees play is out of reach.
God, you know how good it felt to send that to Rob Parker? That was
What was he he hit a home run to make it like 18-2, right? Like
yeah,
it was the
yeah.
Chris Paul meme.
Low
in
leverage,
that
man.
Saturday game. But in all seriousness, a lot of
So
Judge's production. I mean,
Judge
granted,
homered. He homered when it was 10-0 to make it 10-1.
nice.
Then he homered when it was 15-1 to make it 15-2.
And I understand that Max's production over the weekend was a lot of that game, where also the game was already. But his first home run, his 200th home run, put that game out of hand.
Yeah.
And then, everything after that, that's no fault of his. The game is out of hand at that point. But
he
it
also
is
just
great.
needs to fucking do stuff.
Yes, exactly. That's good for him. Like for him to be able to
in baseball, there's no like, you hit a 3 when you're up by 40 and nobody's trying, but like guys are still trying to get outs in baseball.
Yeah.
Like the game can't move forward unless you get outs. So it's good for him to make contact and have a solid bat. And fucking Tommy Edman, dude, Jesus Christ.
And having that production does carry through. I understand that. Yes, there's the old adage of like, hey, save some runs for tomorrow. That's not a thing. But when a guy hits 2 home runs in a game where he's starting to feel himself like that, that matters and that pays dividends. So it's good to see Max coming around, and his 200 home runs should be celebrated. Remember, Max Muncy had a really weird path to the majors. He was seen as really not a major league talent for quite a few years, was just kind of this utility infielder that bounced back and forth with the A's for a while. And the Dodgers liked him. And I believe there was an injury as to why he got called
it was Turner.
up.
Was
it Turner's injury?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Turner got hurt, and I think it was against the Padres.
That's right. And so Max got an opportunity, and at first he looked like he was terrible. But then like suddenly the guy started hitting home runs out of nowhere. And now he's become one of the most prolific home run hitters in Dodgers history. He's in the top 10.
He will be one of those Dodger icons the same way Turner and Taylor are when it's all said and done. Like it's frustrating at times, but like that's just baseball, man.
Yeah.
Like the Dodgers aren't the Dodgers without Max Muncy. They're just not.
And there was a time where Max Muncy's home runs were like the most electric thing to watch on the team.
Oh yeah.
The way that he would flip the bat, the way it was like a magnet to the ground. Like the way in which he would flip a bat and the follow through, and all he'd do is flick his wrist and the bat would just like flip to the ground, and it was incredible. And there were every Max Muncy home run, you knew it was a home run the second he was swinging. Like you could tell the second, like even before he would make contact with it. It's just that his swing had so much power with it. So it's great to see him starting to produce again. But 200 home runs is a huge accomplishment for a guy who, I'm sure for much of his early career, thought that he was never going to make it in the majors. And for him to eventually get that opportunity and become the player that he is, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Him and Turner are like the stalwarts. Like those are the examples of this front office and what they've done in his player development. So Max is cool in my book. Any like criticism of Max comes from a place of like, I really want him to do better.
Yeah.
Like, I need him to do better.
Yeah.
And you're 100% right. Like, some of these guys have been overshadowed by having like Ohtani and Mookie and Freeman. So, I think when time settles and the dust settles and time goes on, like I think Muncy and Turner and guys like that should be much more celebrated as Dodgers than maybe like a Mookie or somebody. Just in terms of how long they were here doing it before they finally brought in those big guns to seal the deal.
Yeah. Yeah, we did talk about last time that it does feel like the end is near for Max, and a big part of that is the defense is definitely declining, but he's doing fine. And
Mhm.
now that the bat is starting to come around, you'll take whatever you can get defensively. So congratulations to Max on 200 home runs. That's a huge accomplishment for him. So that's really awesome, and that should be recognized and celebrated. Also in that game, and this is the last thing I wanted to mention, was the first career. Okay, there's actually two. There's one other thing we haven't even talked about the different relievers, but it was also the first career home run for Dalton Rushing in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Now, yes, he hit it off a position player.
Don't matter.
Doesn't matter. Still counts. You know what I think is cool though? Do you remember David Ross? His first career home run with the Dodgers was off of Mark Grace, a first baseman. And so David Ross went on to have a great career on other teams, on a lot of other teams. But it was a very long career and one that he swindled into getting a managerial position out of because people liked him.
That's World Series champion David Ross to you,
and then he
buddy.
won a World Series. Yeah. But I think that's an interesting, an interesting comparison.
So you're saying right now that Dalton Rushing is a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Lock that in. 9:05 p.m.
Put it,
June 2nd, 2025.
Put that out there. The people can judge whether I'm right or not.
I hope he listens to this and like when he's getting inducted, he invites us. They believed in me before nobody else did.
You guys had nothing. The Dodgers did acquire a couple of different relievers. We're only going to focus in on one because so earlier today, I just want to read this tweet by the Dodgers that summed up the flurry of roster moves they had today. The Dodgers acquired Will Klein from the Seattle Mariners in exchange for minor league pitcher Joe Jacques. The Dodgers also recalled right-hander Ryan Laudos and optioned right-handed pitcher Noah Davis in order to make room on the roster for Klein. We do a podcast every single week, and we should at the end of the season kind of take a look and see what happens more throughout the season. Either podcast by the Sick Podcast of the Dodger Zone or DFAs of JP Fire Horizon by the end of the season. Because
do you want to venture a guess at what career high Dustin May set tonight?
Was it pitches?
It's June 2nd. And Dustin May has set a career high for innings in an MLB season with 60. He eclipsed the 60 innings pitched threshold for the first time in his 6 injury-plagued campaigns. So
that's actually insane.
Congrats, Dustin May.
I didn't know it was that low. That's wild.
That's fucking ridiculous. He's gonna make a great closer.
Yeah. He's gonna be good. He's good. Hey, speaking of once great closers, though, the Dodgers did acquire Alexis Diaz, who's the only interesting reliever that I want to talk about.
Aledmus Diaz pitches now.
Alexis Diaz was an all-star for the Reds. He had 2 seasons where he was an elite closer, and then in 2024 he fell off pretty hard. And then this season, at the start of the season, he was so bad that he was sent to AAA. And then he was never brought back to Cincinnati ever again. Now the Dodgers have him. And I think this is great because this is the kind of things that they should be. Because listen to the names I just read, okay? Have any of those guys, I'm sure they're nice guys, but have any of them ever moved the radar in any bullpen at any point in their life?
Yeah.
No.
And I mean, like the Dodgers' strategy is always just find their one really great pitch and just have them throw it 27 times. So yeah, if they traded for this guy, I have no doubt that they see something that they can use. And I'm sorry to the Reds, but like I trust the Dodgers more than I trust the Reds at this point in time. So what's the harm?
So I think that this is exciting because he's the exact sort of project the Dodgers should be taking risks on. Yes, he did not look good, and his peripherals were not good in his limited action in the majors this season. But he is absolutely somebody with talent. He has established that before. and there is no team that has a better shot at fixing him than the Dodgers do.
Mhm.
So if the Dodgers can't fix him, then that's
The
kind of
Padres
it for
can.
him. Then the Yankees will turn him into a starter. So, but no, I this is a fun move because there's some real potential there, and the ceiling is very high. The floor is low, but the ceiling is very high, and these are the kind of things that they should be doing when they're simultaneously having to resort to Will Klein and Noah Davis and Ryan Lados.
The best question is, will Klein get into a game?
That's
his name.
That is the question, and that remains to be seen. It again may happen tonight. We are recording this during the Mets game. Listen, don't start a podcast with your coworkers. I've said it many times.
Jeez, dude.
Just it's a
Brutal.
logistical nightmare. It is hard. It's hard to find time, but this is largely on me. I will be at the game tomorrow, and I can't podcast from the game.
You could. You're just not dedicated.
It would make for. It's a great idea.
Can you imagine being the asshole that like podcasts at a game?
Oh God,
that's, dude.
First and foremost, I would hate me.
I would be asking the people behind you to stab you.
Like, please throw this person out.
Kill this guy.
Just listen. Dodger Stadium Wi-Fi's gotten better, but still not great. They
spend all their money on the roster. What do you want them to do?
Yeah. Hey, that's fine. Listen, you shouldn't be on your phone during the game. You should be.
You know what you could do is you could find just find Visay's setup. Just be like, hey, dude, I'm pulling rank here
for FSR, so I get to use this, and then just cut into Dodger talk.
Yeah,
he just never gets on. That could work actually. That could work. Sorry, David. I work for the national network. Thank you very much. Your little affiliate can't do anything about me.
It's not like he's gonna be there. He's just gonna be twiddling thumbs with fucking Blake Snell in the
dugout. Hey, here we go. I hate to break in with breaking news. Ohtani.
He's going to strike out. Oh, okay, cool.
there we go.
Would have been nice. Would have been nice an inning ago.
He's ahead of Aaron Judge, right? Like
I think so.
That's awesome. That is truly great to see. Yeah, Judge's average is nuts.
Oh, again, see, like that's my thing. We won the World Series last year, and across all sports, like I don't ever have to see the Lakers win again. I would like them to, but like we've been lucky enough to see the Lakers win at least 5 titles in our lifetime, where like we can say like we watched that happen.
Yeah.
We've seen the Dodgers win the World Series twice now. I've seen the Eagles win 2 Super Bowls. You've seen the Packers win at least 1 Super Bowl. We've both seen the Rams win a Super Bowl here in LA. Like we have seen enough winning. Like having Shohei Ohtani for 10 years, like at this point, I just want to see him do cool shit. Yeah. So like the fact that he's probably on his way to eclipsing his like hitting totals from last year is nuts. And then he is going to pitch at some point this year.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't be asked to care about results right now. I just want to see Ohtani do cool shit. Like it's end of the day. Like he's tied for the lead with 23.
Okay. Well, so, he's tied with Cal Raleigh, right? It's not Judge.
What a guy.
Yeah,
hey, refer to him by his government name, please.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Need Cal Raleigh to win the AL MVP. That would be really funny.
It's not gonna happen.
Of course not.
Never gonna happen. They really need to find something where it's just like, all right, so Judge and Ohtani get awards for just being just being the best players. Like just make like the unicorn award.
Name just the Aaron Judge award and the Shohei Ohtani award.
Like that's what you have to do.
At the end of every year, they both who's gonna win the Shohei Ohtani award this time? And sure enough, it's Shohei Ohtani, baby. The 10-time winner of the Shohei Ohtani award.
There's so many guys. They're not going to ever get a chance to actually win something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It's you feel bad kind of, but it's also it is great though, because we've also had a lot of seasons in baseball, especially where like the guy who wins MVP is like, I don't know, just give it to Bryce Harper, maybe. Like it's like I don't know. Maybe,
baseball, I feel, is like the one sport that's kind of immune to the NBA MVP thing, where it's like, we've given it to Jokic like 3 times in a row, so I don't know if we want to do it again. So let's give it to someone else. Baseball, it feels like they're much more willing to be like, Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, and he is alive, so he gets the MVP this year. And then Aaron Judge comes along, and it's just like, okay, well, it's Aaron Judge until it's not, and then now in the NL, it's Ohtani until it's not. Probably, like, I mean, really in the NL this year, who's a more likely MVP candidate?
Yeah, nobody's more likely. Ohtani has it. I know Corbin Carroll's having a great season, but like,
yeah, but the minute Ohtani throws an inning, like it just
it's over.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else obvious. I don't think so.
Like no one, and that's the thing. Like nobody's immediately jumping out.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Well, maybe we'll give it to what is his name, Hunter Goodman, the guy who had 2 home runs for the Rockies tonight.
Corbin Carroll is on an under 500 team. So.
Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap this up here. So until next time, Muncy will be back with us. She was at least one of the games with the Dodgers Yankees, and I know I think she's at the stadium tonight. So again, we're all over the place. Okay.
Go buy Muncy a beer.
I know. I feel like I owe her a good 12-pack of beers at the stadium alone.
You want a 36-pack of Modelo from your bachelor party? It's still in my garage. I did open the 12-pack, so I can have a beer while I grill.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still a 36 in my garage. So. Anybody wants some Modelo, please.
Purchase at an Arizona Costco. All right. So yes, until next time, this is the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone. My name is Ryan Bershinger. He is Beau Benson, and Muncy Bolaños is also with us. You can follow the podcast on Apple, Spotify, and of course here on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate all the support, all the love as always. So for all of us, we'll catch you next time. Domo arigato, everyone. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, The Dodger Zone, on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.